Welcome back everyone to another episode of Tea Time with Mary. I am your host, Miss Mary Lou. The Halloween October fun continues today, friends. If you've missed the other spooky videos that I have released so far, I will link them in the description box below. So I love watching movies. I particularly love watching scary movies. In high school, I had a group of friends. We were all really into horror and we would get together and try to scare the crap out of each other with whatever vampire, zombie, supernatural, psychological kind of movies. But we would have to go to the video store. You guys remember Blockbuster? That was a thing. As I'm sure most of you are aware now, online streaming is a magical, wonderful thing. Today, I am going to be going over my top 3 movies on Netflix to get you in your spooky mood. I have a bit of a variety here as far as style and type of horror. However, I was doing my research and they're all fairly recent movies, all within the last 3 years. There's some really exciting things going on in innovative filmmaking in the horror world. I'm really excited to share my top 3 horror movies on Netflix with you. But first, let's drink some tea. Ooh, it's tea time.
It's tea time with Mary.
That's so good. All right, let's cue some spooky music for this, shall we? All right. So for the first Netflix scary movie, I have Creep, released in 2014. I won't do that voice the whole time, don't worry. This is an indie horror film directed by Patrick Bryce and written by Patrick Bryce and Mark Duplass. It's kind of genius. So to set the scene, a documentary filmmaker from Los Angeles answers a Craigslist ad asking for a filmmaker for a day. So he drives his car to this place in the woods to document this guy who says he has cancer, he's dying, and this guy wants to kind of document a day in his life to keep forever. So everything that you see is through the actual lens of the documentary filmmaker. And weird stuff starts to happen. Don't worry if you have a weak inner ear and get dizzy easily. This did not make me feel motion sick or anything. This isn't anywhere near kind of a Blair Witch Project level. There are no camera tricks, there are no special effects in this movie. You follow the main character, the documentary filmmaker, who is also the director and one of the writers. So the 2 guys who wrote this movie and the one who directed it, they are the 2 people you see in this movie. It is a crazy, unexpected, clever ride. It's mostly a movie that just makes you really, really uncomfortable, and it has a really great payoff in the end. So if you're up for some seriously clever filmmaking, suspense, and 2 guys who really know what they're doing, I highly recommend Creep. The next movie on my list, I dare say, is probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time. The Babadook, released in 2014, written by Australian writer-director Jennifer Kent. I would probably classify this as a psychological monster thriller movie. A single mom who lost her husband in a car crash is raising her son, and her son starts to act out and finds this children's book called Mr. Babadook. The book is real creepy, to say the least. The book freaks her out, she tries to get rid of it, the book comes back. It turns into a really dark, artistically beautiful and grotesque horror movie. But some people I know, they really don't like this. This is kind of a polarizing one. You have to look at the film as the metaphor that it is. This next part is gonna be kind of a spoiler. The monster of the Babadook is considered a metaphor for grief. And when that hit me, I was just so overwhelmed with emotion, because it can haunt you and then it can completely consume you and make you do things that you wouldn't normally do. And in the end, you can never really get rid of grief. You can never really get rid of the Babadook, but you have to learn how to live with it and treat it with compassion instead of with fear. Even the different stylings of the Babadook, there aren't really any special effects in this. They use a combination of props, costumes, stop motion. The way that this film is crafted is really, really stunning, and it really kind of stirs you at a deep psychological level. So if you're looking for a movie that is deeply, darkly emotional, where the artistic stylization just kind of chills you and moves you to your core, I would highly recommend The Babadook. It's a really rewarding cinematic experience. Last on my list today is The Invitation, which premiered in 2015, directed by Catherine Kusama, written by Phil Hay and Matt Manfredi. I saved The Invitation for last. This is a whole other level. This movie I actually rewatched with a friend recently a couple of weeks ago, and it is still just as chilling and beautiful and messed up as it was when I saw it a year ago. The Invitation is a deep psychological thriller. Most of the movie is building of suspense, and then everything kind of explodes at the end. It takes place in Los Angeles, California, up in the Hollywood Hills. This couple invites a bunch of friends to a dinner party. They all receive an invitation, and one of the guests invited is the ex-husband of the woman throwing the party. Old friends who haven't seen each other in a lot of years reconnect, but there are these vibrations, these undertones of things that are just off, and how the main character deals with that. It's one of those movies where you're doubting everything, and then everything just explodes phenomenally. I don't want to give away what happens, but if you're into a slow, intense blue flame kind of burn, it's so good. And not to mention, the cinematography is stunning. And even through the horror and the doubt and the mystery, the way that it kind of juxtaposes what's going on in the plot, it makes your brain go, you can't look away, because it's so stunning and horrifying at times to look at. And for those of you who have seen it, the final shot of the movie is iconic and truly chilling. So if you like suspenseful, building, vibrating, psychological thriller movies that are operated by camera people who are clearly from a higher plane of existence, then you will love The Invitation. This one is the top of my list for a reason. It's simply put, a stunning movie. I hope this list of modern, innovative horror cinema inspires you to go hop on your Netflix account and, scare the bejeebus out of yourself, quite frankly. I do prefer to watch horror movies with a friend. I definitely thought that my bathrobe hanging on my wall in my bedroom was the Babadook for about like a week. Thank you so much for watching this tea party. Again, my Patreon is up and running if you want to hop over there and support tea parties just like this one. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I super loved making it. You know, I love horror movies. It's just a thing that's great. Yes. Last and most importantly of all, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Sunday.
It's tea time with Mary.
Thanks for watching Tea Time with Mary. I hope to see you real soon. If you want to like, subscribe, and comment, I think that would be cool. Check out my facebook.com/teatimewithmary for all the content that's new, or my Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm at Miss Mary Lou. So thanks again for joining us, and thanks for being a friend. We'll see you next Tuesday. The fun never ends on Tea Time with Mary. That's me! Oh, I'm so scary.